Okay, I'm going to talk about how we can kind of empower visualization capability in Power BI with R, and definitely mainly more about the custom visual. But before I'm going ahead, just let me introduce myself. I'm Layla. I'm based in New Zealand, Auckland. I'm Microsoft AI and Data Platform MVP, so kind of the cross area. Uh, I'm actually working with Power BI for about from 2014 or end of 2013, and also I do training, speaking, and mentoring in area of Microsoft technologies like Power BI, Microsoft machine learning, and I can say that during these 3 years, my focus mainly is on data science. I'm the author of the book that is actually a free book about how we can use Power BI inside R. You can actually access to our weblog, and you can get it free. So it's a free book. You can, if you're interested to see that how we can use R inside Power BI, you can go for that. Okay, so why R, and actually what is R? R is a statistical language and is a free open source that is based on S language. R actually created by two academic people that they are in University of Auckland statistical department. The name was Ross and Robert. So I think that makes sense that why they call the language R. Uh, so R is actually open source, is based on packages, and actually is everyone can create a package, create it from the function that they have and share it with others. So there are many different books and resources for R. So whenever people ask me about the R, I'm saying that you can easily find resources in internet. So I list some of the interesting resources that I'm actually use them sometimes that they are really good. So our blogger, data camp, our project, the CRAN itself has lots of information. So now we actually R is here for more than 20 years or 30 years there. So why R is now is really important and to learn R, because recently from 2014 Microsoft start to embedded the R into applications. So for example, we able in 2014 Microsoft introduced Azure machine learning. That was a cloud uh, data science platform and was really easy to use, this drag and drop environment, but still be able to use and write R and Python inside it. So it's a kind of R Azure platform. In 2015 they introduced R and Python. They introduced R inside Power BI. Sorry, we don't have Python still in Power BI. In 2016 and 17 we have R and Python in SQL Server, and also in Azure Data Lake, and many different tools. So this is shows that how is matter at least to know what about the R and how we can do with R. In this session, I'm not going to focus on there. I'm just going to show you how we can use for our custom visual. So I'm created kind of a chart. I'm created myself, so it's not really nice drawing, but at least I try to show that how's the connection of the R and Python with other data platform tools. So as you see here, we're able to use the created model in other application with R, or actually with other language. For example, we can create Azure ML and use it in Excel. Create a model using Azure ML and them in Stream Analytics and the other. We are also able to write R or Python in some Microsoft data tools like Azure ML, SQL Server, Power BI, Azure ML Workbench, Data Lake, and many other. And also, we're able to access to some of the Microsoft data platform tools from R, so SQL Server, Data Lake, and the other. Okay, I'm going to talk about that how R in Power BI help us to do kind of visual machine learning and also help us to extend our visualization capability. So we do visualization for main four purposes. As you can see here, we can use visualization to compare the data, to see the relationship between the data, see the distribution of data and the composition. So, and I can set Power BI visual and custom visual that already exists, able to cover most of these things. But still, there are some area that is not covered here. And also, there are many different charts that your customer wants, and you couldn't find them in the created visual there. So you need to create them yourself. So for example, here, as you see that we don't have any chart that shows out the normal distribution or the many data points, kind of the line chart with a line histogram. Or for example, if you want to show the data, to compare the data with different items, with different category, you may need a table chart or using the column width chart. So there are not any visual that actually support them in Power BI. So that's the main reason we use R for visualization in Power BI. You can also use R in Power Query. That's another story. It's not for visualization, it's for machine learning. But I'm just talking about how we can use R for extend the capability. So the easiest way of using the R, that actually is the icon that I think most of you know about it. It's a small icon that we have there. It's a really easiest way that we can do. So I'm going to show very fast demo on that, and then I'm going to the other usage of R. Okay, so I'm going to the Power BI, I can see here. The first step is actually to install one of the R version into my machine. The very popular environment to write R is RStudio. So I'm really recommend that you go and install RStudio. It's a free application, so you can easily install it. So the first step is that you have the RStudio there. After you have RStudio and already installed it, you need to go to the option and setting. And under the global, you will see that we have a R scripting. So under the R scripting, there is a part that says what is the detected R home directory. So that means that Power BI needs the R version in your machine to be connected. The reason is that because of the packages. Okay, so what is packages? R consists about more than 10,000 packages, and it's dynamic. I mean that everyone can create packages. These packages, each package can have about more than many functions. So, and these functions help us to write different code. And when you install a packages, it's actually going and store in a physical location in your computer. So that's really matters. So in each R version, you may have different packages. I'm going to show you a demo to see that how it works. Okay, so I'm click on that. I want to create a simple bar chart using the R first. Okay, so I'm use group and value here. As you see here, I have an R editor session. So here, as you see, the data that I'm choose here, that was group and value, has been actually mentioned here. They have been converted to type of data structure. We call it data frame, and store it in a variable data set. So here, there is the actual editor, as you see here. I'm able to access the data through data sets, as you see, okay? So I'm going to actually write the code. The first step to drawing a chart in R, one of the main packages, and very popular packages that we use is ggplot2. So I'm going to actually refer to this package. So I'm not going to install this package here. I need to kind of install the package inside RStudio. So I need to use a command named install packages ggplot2. Because I'm already installed it, there is no need to install. Just I want to use a command named library to check that if this package already exists, and it said yes. So I'm not going to install it. I'm just copy the line here to make sure that I don't do any typo and put it here. Now I'm going to actually write a code to kind of draw a simple bar chart inside there, and also a very explanation. Okay, so look at here. I wrote a code here that helped me to actually draw the chart. So first I'm referred to the ggplot2 package. In the next step, I use a function named ggplot. This function, as you see here, get the data set. My data set is about group and value field. In the second argument, as you see here, is actually we identify what is X, what is Y, and what color, what field should be actually we are going to put it as a color. So this is the area. If I just comment this part and I run it using this button to run the script, you will see that I don't have any chart. I just have X and Y area. Now I'm going to put a chart. So as you see here, to add a chart to the area, we can use plus sign. So I use plus sign, and after that I'm use geombar function. So if I just run it, you will see a simple bar chart will be shown here. Okay, so this is a simple bar chart. Everything can be changed. You can change anything, any color, any style there. I'm going to show you that how I can actually convert this chart to the polar chart by just adding one simple example. So one simple code. So I'm just copy that, paste that one here, and I'm going to kind of change a code by adding another layer. So I'm just keep everything, just add another function named called polar based on Y axis. So if I just run it, you will see this time I have a polar chart based on Y axis. So I didn't change the code, I just add a simple function. In another example, I'm also able to change it based on kind of create a polar chart based on X axis. So if I just run it, you will see I have a different chart based on X axis. So you see that how it's easy actually to work with this R scripts editor here. You're also able to use the edit script in external IDE to bring your data here. So when I click on that, as you see here, when I click on this button here, edit script in external IDE, the new page open in my RStudio. This is my data and this is my code. So here, because kind of debugging the code is easier, so I always recommend to go here. So this is the first and easiest way of creating the chart. But why is not good? Because people access to your code. So yes, here is good to create visuals, but people can see your code. So for example, in the here, if I mistakenly put a sign here, it's not going to run anymore. And also here you need to install a specific package for your customer manually, and if they just open it in any other machine, they should have RStudio, they should have RStudio and install the package manually. So this is another problem that we have. The other problem that we have in custom visual here is about the interaction. So that's actually still not solved. So for example, if I have a slicer here, I'm able to actually slice and dice our visual based on the slicer that I have in Power BI. But if I'm click on each of them, so for example, if I'm click on each of here, the slicer or any chart is not going to be kind of filter. So it's kind of one-way interaction. So these are the problems that we have still in Power BI Visual. Okay, the second approach is about the importing from the marketplace. So what is marketplace? Marketplace is about the actually you can extend your visualization by accessing extra visualization. So these are the actually standard visualization that we have here, but you actually looking for different visualization. So for example, something else, different gauge or KPI picture. You can easily click on three dots here and go to the import from marketplace. And you should actually have an account. So if you don't have, you couldn't access. So make sure that you have a Power BI account and then you will access. So here is actually, as you see, we have different type of the visualization here. So some of these visualization are really interesting. Some of them, for example, the infographic designer or some of the KPI. I think Devin Knight has a lots of really interesting presentation about how you can use these visualization. We also have a one part for advanced analytics that, for example, if I want to show the time series for the milk production, I can use this visual. So this visual is actually based on the R visual. So you can easily just use it. For example, I have a data about the milk production, the date and the value. And I want to forecast that in the 10 next months, how was my actually production. So this visual is actually a custom visual that has been created by our language. So as you see that is actually you can see the kind of the production here. Okay, so the good things about this visual is that when you just get it, the people not able to see the R codes behind the scenes. So this is really good. It has a bit more interaction. So as you see that we can see hover mouse and also be able to zoom it and zoom out. So we have some kind of features here. But still this custom visual that has been created with our language is not interactive with other Power BI visualization. So this is still a kind of disadvantage. And okay, so many people ask me about the codes behind this. No, you couldn't see the code behind this, but I will show you at the end of the session how you can access. Now I'm going to actually create a custom visual like this myself. Okay, so the first step is that you you need to go and download Node.js from the website. So the first step is to just go to the Node.js, and as you see, please download the latest version for your Windows. I didn't actually try this one. I've tried this one, so you should download this. Then in your command prompt, you need to install the Power BI Visual Tools. So if you just need to install Power BI Visual Tools, follow these instructions. So use np install Power BI Visual Tools. So I'm going to install it. After you actually install it, provide a facility for you to create a custom visual. So it just take a bit time to install it. So we are going to create our own custom visual as you see that it has a specific icon, a specific name, the data field, and also we can specify different actually kind of the setting there. I'm going to show you that how is actually easy possible. The other way to create custom visual that I believe that The other custom visual that we have in Marketplace, not in Advanced Analytics, the other has been created using the C#, JavaScript skills that I'm not in them. I'm not really good on them, but still it is possible, and most of them are better interactive there. But this one is actually for people who just know a bit about R and they have a data science in their team, so they can create their own custom visual. Okay, I'm just still waiting till it's installed. After you install, to be sure that is actually has been installed, you should put a command name pbiviz. So what is pbiviz? Pbiviz is stand for Power BI visualization. If you go to the website, if you go to the Marketplace website, if you go to the Office store, if I just do the Office store, Power BI. If you go to the Power BI Office store, you will see that actually, let me go there through here. You will see that there are also the visual that I'm showing you from here, also they exist there. So still you can have an account there and going and download them. So for example, I can easily click on it and get it. So it's asked about sign in. So just take your time, sign in. Oops. Okay, seems that I have lots of their things. So I mean Leila@ragacut.com. So you can actually sign in there and download some of the kind of visual from there. So when you actually get the visual and you download it, you will see that when you download, you see that actually they are the specific type name pbiviz file. So just download one of them. So if I actually show you, so as you see here, this is the data type that is pbiviz file. So you see here they have the pbiviz file type. These are the custom visual that we already actually created by Microsoft. We are going to see that how we can create this visual. Okay, it's already installed. To be sure that it's already installed, I need to write pbiviz command here. pbiviz. Okay, so it shows that it's already installed. The next step is to download a sample of the custom visual. But first of all, I need to have a location. So I'm going to my C drive. Okay, and I'm create a new folder name custom visual CV. It does not exist. Yes, and I'm going through there. So I'm set that CD. Okay, and I'm going to install a new sample of custom visual there. So I use the command pbiviz new sample rhtml visual. So if I just run it, you will see that it's creating a new visual for me, installing it, and I have the visual there. So if I go to the new create folder, you will see that a folder has been created there within this exactly the same name. However, it still needs something. So to complete the installation, I need to write pbiviz package. So pbiviz package is like running again. So every time you change anything, you should write this command to change your code. So pbiviz package. Oops. PBI. Okay, seems that there is a problem happen here. Oh, sorry. I need to go to the folder. So yes, I need to go to the sample HTML. So I need to go to sample or HTML visual first. So that's a problem. So I'm going to there and I then said pbiviz package. Okay, so it's creating the visual there. Okay, so let's look at the folder here. So this is the place that we can create our custom R visual. So the main part that you can put your R visual code is in script.r. So script.r is actually you're able to open it with the R Studio or Visual Studio if you prefer to use that one. And you can see that this is the R code behind there. So this visual is a visual that's created by Microsoft. And as you see here, this is all R code inside it. So these are the packages that we need. This is the actual code for visualization. And this is some kind of for creating interactivity and kind of for the output. Okay, I'm not going to change the code for now. I'm just showing you the visual. If you go to the dist folder, this folder, you see here that we have a pbiviz file. So that means that we have a custom visual. So I can easily go here, click on these three dots, import from file. And if I go to the C drive, it is so full actually, my C drive. I'm going to the CV, sample HTML, and import the visual. So as you see that this visual doesn't have any icon and is not actually interactive still with Power BI because it's not a kind of visual, it's just a sample, so we should change it. So this is a very simple visual that we have here. As you see, that is not interactive with here because there is not get the value from there. It's just a predefined value that he has. I'm going to change the code here to what I want. So just keep that one. I'm back to the just a bit slide. So as you see, I'm just want to review that what happened till now. So we actually go to the Node.js, we install the Power BI visual tools, we use some commands to actually run it, and we download sample HTML visual. As you see, then we have a folder like this, and after that we kind of install it. We use the command pbiviz package to create the folder. Now I'm going actually to change the R scripts. I'm going to put my R code. So this is the R code that I have. It's a kind of a scatter chart that I'm going to use, and this scatter chart also shows the has a column and row. So let's see how if I replace the code with this one, what will be happen. I'm back to the R Studio here. I put the code that I have. So I'm going to just remove this one, or if you want, you can just put the comment like this and just put your code. Okay, don't worry about the behind the scene that what the code is. It's just for creating a kind of table charts there. So I need to save the code, close it, and then I need to back here and I need to kind of run it again. So every time you change, you need to do write pbiviz package. So I'm just waiting. So yes, it's download. Now I'm going to get it again from file. Sometimes it's better to actually kind of do it again to ask about the update. Okay, so I'm just add it again. I'm going to put the data there. I will explain. Oops, sorry. So I need to put city, highway, number of the student, driver, and the other. So this chart is very not dynamic for now. I just want to show you how the charts works. As you see here, I kind of hard coded that which field should be first. So actually I put the first variable as a speed in city, speed in highway, and the other. So what is a data set? Let me explain a bit about data set. So this data set, MPG, is a data set about the car. So it has the manufacturer of the car, the model of the car, the display, year of production, number of the cylinder that each car has, speed in city and speed in highway. I want to show about 5 variables at the same time in a chart. So I want to show city and city speed and highway in X and Y axis, the number of the cylinder that they have as a legend, and the year and driver as a row and column. So as you see here, is this the same that we have? Just always be careful that is don't summarize. Sometimes Power BI summarize the chart and it will be impact on the visualization. Okay. So as you see here, I have a chart here that actually shows it has 2 rows. Two columns. So the first column stands for 1999. The second column stands for 2008. It has 3 rows that they are actually the type of the driver. So I have that one here, 4-wheel driver, front wheel driver, and row. And I have about 4 different scatter chart here. So this scatter chart shows the speed in highway regarding speed in city. And you see the color stands for the number of the cylinder they have in 1999 and 4-wheel driver. This one shows in 2008 4-wheel driver speed in city. So this is a very simple R chart. It has lots of problems still. Here I'm kind of hard coded that which variable should be there. So if I actually change it, the orientation is gone. Is actually is not working properly. Is a bit, it's showing, but it's not really nice actually. And you don't know what is X, what is Y, and the other. It doesn't have proper icon and proper name. It doesn't have any setting. I'm going to show you that how we can create them very fast. Not all of them. Is actually take time to change everything, just some of them. Okay. So you see that actually how we can kind of created them, and you see that is not good. It doesn't have proper name. It doesn't have the actually separate data fields. It just have a values field that we drop everything there, which is not really good. So first of all, be able to change the icon. So there is an assets folder there that you can still to put your kind of icon there, and then after that you need to go to the package.json file and specify what icon you are going to use. I'm going to show you that one. So I'm going here. Oh, just I need to bring one kind of charts that I have, so we can go through that. Just let me bring the icon that I have. Just give me a second. Okay, I have a thing, so I'm going to the assets here. So as you see here in the assets, I have an icon. So I'm just put my icon here. That's a table chart. Now I'm back here. Go. There is a if I'm not wrong, yeah, package.json. I'm going to open it with a WordPad. Oh, not this one. The JSON the pbiviz.json, sorry. So you see here that actually we have different, for example, the name. So I'm put it as Layla, for example. The chart name is Layla. I put Layla, and also the GID, I put again Layla. And here is a place that we identify what icon we are going to use. The icon name was TBL chart. So it says that it should go to the assets folder and find it. So if I just save it, And again, because it's a change, I need to write this code. And yeah, it's run. Again, need to go because it's a different visual with different name. So now I have this one here. As you see that we have a different charts there. So you can actually change easily the name and the icon of the chart. The second step is about the kind of create the input fields. So all of these things can happen by changing the file name capabilities.json. So I'm just going to open that one again with Word. So this is a JSON file. So yes, you need to know some JSON. As you see here, the data that identify for values that I have here is already mentioned there. So you see that values. If I want to have more data fields, I need to add here. So for example, I want to have like this. Let me show you what I'm going to do. So I want to have, instead of having value, I want to have separate one for X, for Y, for legend, for the row, and for the column. So what I'm going to actually do, I'm going to, instead of having the just single one for value, I'm going to replace it with other data field. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that one. So I'm going to replace it with Y value, just remove it and put instead of the other. So now I have X, Y, legend, column. Moreover, you should specify that how to read the data. So this is another part that actually we mentioned that data should be read from the Y value. So because there is no Y value and I have other 5 variable, I'm going to replace it with the same format with other one. Just make sure, I always recommend if you want to change anything, there is a online tools name JSON online. That's actually, there are really interesting online JSON viewer that help you to because there are lots of icons there, so you can easily put the code here and see that how it actually work. So you can see better here. I always recommend that one. So I'm just going to remove that and paste the rest there. So now I'm identified different columns. So again, I need to save that. Run it again. Okay, so I made a mistake there. So yeah, as you see, that is really matter that how you actually put there. Let me show you a complete one that I'm already have, because also we don't have that much time. Let me show you the one that I'm already created. So I'm going here on the web log. Yeah, that's the one. So the same thing. I just need to actually show you that how it works. I'm going to bring it there so you can easily see the charts from there. So I'm going to create that one. Always I think so the challenge part is about changing the JSON file. I have some challenge when I'm creating this custom visual by changing the R code there. Okay, so I'm just going, which one? This one, this, and this one. Okay, so as you see here now on the fields, I have X, Y, legend, column, row, and index. So I can easily pass everything there. So speed in city, highway, the drive, for example, the legend, the column, and the number of the rows. So this is actually much more easier to see. So you can specify the column that you want. So just done. So another problem that we have with this custom visual is about that you should make sure that it's don't summarize first. So that's really matter because it's kind of impact on the chart. And also another problem is that it's a bit slow because it's use a package name Plotly for creating the actually chart. So this is actually the chart that we have. I think again it should don't be summarized. Yep. So just wait till it shows. So this actually the actually if it's run, you will see the chart that actually created, and moreover you're able to identify different settings. So for example, instead of a scatter chart, I want to have a bar chart. So you can also specify what type of the charts you want to have, again by changing some parts of the code there. So these are actually the code that I have, or I want to see it as a box plot, and other different things that you can add there. Okay, so this is the kind of the process that we should follow. If you want to change, if I back to there, go to the capabilities. Let me first show you the one that we have, and then oh, it's not that one. Okay, so let me show you the capabilities here. So to change everything, to change all of the setting in visualization area, like the what variable you want, and also specify some setting, you should do it here. So for example, here is a place that I'm using enumeration to show that how we can have a scatter chart, bar chart, or box plot, or other things like the different parameters that you want to show. So all of things can be written here. So yes, sometimes it's a bit kind of challenging to write some JSON here, but at least you can do with a simple one, or if you don't need any setting, you just need to specify the other line. So you can easily change actually the codes behind this, and I found that it's kind of really easy to change the code, at least for some customer things. There are some things that I need to actually mention before that. The first thing is that when you install a new R visual in your machine, you should have one version of the R Studio in your machine. So it's a start to install the package initially in your machine. Let me see that if I can show you to that, because I'm already installed most of these packages. So I'm not sure that is kind of ask me to install or not. No, it doesn't ask me to install. But when you, for the first time, you install any of these R visual in your machine, is a start to install some of package in your machine. That is really good, because you can create this custom visual, you can give it to your customer, and if they just have one R Studio in their machine, they can access to these visual. Again, this visual is not interactive with actually the Power BI visual. So for example, if I have something like this, I'm able to slice and dice by clicking in any Power BI visual, slice and dice the R visual. But by clicking on the R visual, I'm not able to slice and dice there. So still we have this problem. So to drawing the charts, not all supported, not all packages is supported. So there is a website in Power BI that actually show you the R packages that has been supported by Microsoft. You can easily go there and check the list of the packages that we have. So for example, for this example, I'm use Plotly, as you see here. So it shows that what version of the Plotly is there, or I use the ggplot2. So you see that there, but there are still some packages that we have in, like Shiny, like Leaflet, and the other that is still not supported here. So this is another good things and bad things about them. I'm talking about that you, for example, in the forecast for the milk production, I mentioned that you're able to access the code behind the scene here. Yes, it's possible. So if you remember, just wait till it's load. If you just go there and just search for the name of the visual, time series custom visual Power BI GitHub, if you just search for that, you will see that actually Microsoft Research put all of the codes behind the scene there. And for example, this actually these are really good. I use these samples to create, and also the Microsoft people are really helpful to creating this visual also. As you see that again, we have the same thing. We have our scripts here that I'm showing to you. So these are the things. So if you, for example, you want to change the algorithm or anything, you can go and change here. I know it's a bit hard because there are lots of settings happen here. It's not simple as one that I'm showing you, but these are just settings, just for the color and the other things. So you can easily find it. Let me show you the main code. Where is the main code? If I can find it. Yeah, it should be something here. Yes. So yeah, so you can actually, you see that the ggplot and the other things there. So I'm saying that it is possible to change the arc, the kind of the things behind the scene. Okay, so I think so I'm pretty much about this. Just let me introduce some of the books. So you need to know R. So R is not just for visualization. Also, R can be used for machine learning. So as you see here in the example that I'm showing to you is a kind of the machine learning example. It's a forecasting, it's type of the machine learning. So R can not only for visualization, sometimes you want to create a visual for machine learning. So that's a thing that actually you can use. So it's a good idea to go to some books. So I personally recommend, in my training class, I personally recommend to use this book. It's not a heavy book. It's not about the statistic. It's a start from the very operational case of using machine learning and R. So I will find it's really easy to follow. The other one is actually a free book. So this one is paid. This one is free. This is not about the Power BI, but if you are the user of SQL Server, this book provides really good example that how you can use R inside SQL Server. Not good book for learning R, but really good book for learning how to use R inside SQL Server. This book also is not for learning R. It's just showing that how you can use R inside Power BI. So these books are free. If you have any question, you can just email me or Twitter. Also, I'm an active blogger. So for example, for this process, I put all of the things in our website. So all of the custom visual tutorial I put in the blog, so you can access that. Definitely, I will share the PDF of these slides with you. But if you want to follow other things, you can easily go to our website and kind of subscribe to receive the new things about happening in Power BI and our world actually. Okay, so I think pretty much it. Any question?
Hey, yes, we have a couple.
Yeah, sure.
One of the questions that has been asked a couple times is if you are going to share your PowerPoint.
Yes, I will share the PowerPoint, the PDF one. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. And then someone asked, to use this custom visual, do they need to have RStudio installed on their notebook? What about Power BI web service?
Yes, that's possible also. So
Okay.
if they have that one, yeah, that's possible.
Okay. I'll give everybody, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the questions panel. I'll give everybody about a minute to see if any come through. And then that way we can have Layla answer those while she's on the call. Lots of people saying thank you and that it was very informative. All right, okay, now we have some questions coming in. In Power BI, can we use SOAP UI?
Sorry, say again.
In Power BI, can they use SOAP UI?
Not sure about that. You mean that? What exactly mean?
I don't know. We'll come back to that. Maybe they'll provide some more detail. In general, outside of Power BI, do you prefer to use R or Python for data analysis?
Oh, okay. So it depends. So I'm saying that in the first I mentioned that it's not just about Power BI that we can use R. We can use R or Python in other one. So R is good for a statistical language. Some of the packages is really powerful, but still Python also really good. Python has some really good package for deep learning. But R user, if you just know R, there is a way to use the packages that we have in Python here. So I have a lots of friends that they are originally R person, but also they know a bit Python and they can use the packages that we have in Python environment inside R. So both is possible. And there's always a discussion kind of between Apple and Samsung that people have a discussion that which one is better. So the same thing happened here. So some people said Python, some R, but both of them have been used a lot during the academics and also in industry.
Okay. What other programs and languages other than R can be used to create custom visualizations?
Oh, that's another way to, actually, I'm not really good on that, using .NET and JavaScript. So the other visuals that I'm showing to you here, if just not the advanced analytics one, beside this one, the other has been created, based on my knowledge, created with C# and JavaScript one. So it's possible. Also, there are lots of tutorial on that.
All right. Can you visualize real-time streams of data with Power BI?
Yes. Not all of the custom visuals, not all of the visuals possible there, but yes. For example, I can show you I have a video on our YouTube channel that is about the Raspberry Pi. I'm getting data from Raspberry Pi. I'm showing in the line chart. I know that the streaming is a bit limited. So if you want to see that, you can just check that video. So yeah, just check for Radhaka, Raspberry Pi video. I think so you're able to find it. But yes, it's possible. Just need some kind of, not all visuals is able to support.
Okay.
So I can show you.
Is there a way to enable the interactions between your various R visualizations?
You mean that you mean that the byte interaction? Not still. So unfortunately, for now, is not supported. So for example, if I able to actually, for example, this one, I'm able to kind of slice and dice my R visual here, but it's still the by interaction. That means that click on the kind of R visual and slice and dice the other visual is not possible yet.
Okay. What are the graphical or statistical parameters used for non-R based visuals, like ones which are standard for Power BI, pure JSON, for example?
You mean that what other language?
I'm not sure. So.
Oh, can I see the question? Is it in the?
No, unfortunately you don't have access to them, but what I can do is I can send them to you afterwards and we can get some clarification on a couple of these.
Yes, please.
And we can add it to our blog. Okay, here's one. Can we use tooltips in node.js custom visuals?
Yes, I think so. Yes, we can use that one. So there's a different story from what we have in other custom visual, but yes, here you can add your own tooltips there. Yeah.
Can you pass parameters to R visuals?
Pass parameter. That's a really good question. Okay, so that means that from here, from DAX, no, actually. So it's not interactive with the DAX one, so you can actually get the data, or from the Power Query, you actually kind of is not connected to the R visual, but in Power Query on the transfer, we have a run R script. To this one, yes, we can. I have a session that how we can actually create a machine learning and how we can manage the parameter, create the function of machine learning there, but not to R visuals.
And then do you mind putting your contact information up on the screen one last time? We have a couple people asking about it.
Yeah, sure.
So if they need to reach out to you, they can. Perfect. Thank you. All right, so we are about out of time. So what we'll do for some of these questions that might need some clarification, I will send these over to Layla, and Layla will hopefully kindly answer them, and we'll get them posted on our blog at blog.pragmaticworks.com. So if you're not already following us on our blog, I would recommend doing that, because that's where we'll post not only her questions that she answers, but also her presentation. And then, as always, the session was recorded, so you'll receive an email tomorrow with the link to the recording. Layla has her contact information up there. If you'd like to reach out to her directly with questions, you can also email me, Liz. It's the email that comes with all your GoToWebinar information. So if you happen to think of something later, I'll be more than happy to pass along any questions to Layla. Layla, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's crazy early for you right now, so we appreciate you getting up early and hosting this session for us. And we thank you all for joining.
Thank you. Thank you for this. I'm really enjoying. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.